Welcome back to 642 Things to Draw. In today's episode, this is prompt 22, and we have 4 prompts today. A juice box, a jar full of pennies, a bag of hammers, and, jelly beans. This is going to be great. Great. Let's just start on into this prompt, shall we? Alright guys, I admit it. The beginning of this episode, that was a voiceover. And that's because I decided, it's only 1:30 in the morning and I feel like filming, so I'm just going to. But, my husband was trying to sleep and he has a lot of work that he had to get done the next day, so I didn't really want to bother him by being loud. And so I just didn't actually do the voiceover then. I did it now, so there you go. For this prompt, I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do, so I just sort of sketched out each item, object, that thing. And the sketches didn't turn into anything even remotely close to what the final drawing was, but I'm okay with it because I really like how the final prompt turned out. And I got some nice practice trying to figure out how to draw a bag of frickin' hammers. Yeah, who's ever heard of a bag of hammers? Is that a thing? If a bag of hammers is a thing, please let me know in the comments below, because I must be sheltered or I live in a cave or under a rock, because I have never seen or heard of a bag of hammers. Maybe it's a weapon? I don't know. But once I read a juice box and jelly beans, I immediately thought of a character like this young boy who's, drinking a juice box as little kids or adults like myself do, and buying a bag of jelly beans. And so I just figured out how to work the other prompts into this, and I think it turned out pretty well. So the hardest one, of course, is figuring out how to put a bag of hammers into this. So my thought process behind what the final piece is that there's this little boy who's drinking a juice box. He just wants to buy a bag of jelly beans, and he does this at a hardware store. Hence, the idea of a bag of hammers could be in the background. It wouldn't be unusual, since it is a hardware store, to have a bag of hammers. And the jar full of pennies, of course, is going to be the tip jar, but I felt like that was too rude, so I put a nice little dollar bill sort of thing right in that jar, because just because the jar's full of pennies doesn't mean there couldn't be a dollar in it, right? That's my thought, at least. I think I got these prompts to work in together pretty well. And I like how this final prompt turned out. At first, I just sort of sketched it out and was just going to do a normal, lined marker drawing, but I just wanted something a little bit extra to it, even though I didn't have any time at all to really be working on this, and honestly spent more time in the prompt, and that's why the video's going out a couple days late, because I didn't actually have enough time for all of this, but I did it anyway. Woo, art. It's the best. What an adventure. So I wanted to do this sort of cutout paper style look. So I wanted to have different levels for each of the characters and items and objects and just have them pop out a little bit more. I think it turned out really well, although my first sketch of the little boy in the drawing he has features that are a bit more European, and so I would think that he would be more of a white sort of complexion. That's what I'm going with. Complexion is the word I was looking for. But I really wanted to draw a boy with dark skin in this, and then I wanted the shop owner. At first I thought maybe I want to be like this chunky white man, but I really just wanted him to be more of a bit of a pudgier sort of medium darkish skin tone man, and I just liked that idea, so that's what I went with. It also happened to work out because the Copic sketch markers I'm using in this that I have only recently got, I don't actually have any colors that would work for a lighter skin tone. And I like having that challenge because I feel like I make really light complexions very often, and I like having the challenge of making darker skin tones. And I know I'm saying it's a challenge, and I'm not saying that in a rude way. I just mean it's a challenge for me because, 1, I don't do it very often, and 2, it's hard for me to figure out how to do shading on things that are darker. And it's just because I like contrast, but I'm afraid of too dark. So I tend to steer away from things that are too dark, and I end up with a lot of midtones pretty frequently. So I like that I'm having this new sort of challenge to have already a skin tone that's darker, but now I need to add it shadows that are even darker than that. And I think that's helping me a lot figure out compositions and things that have a darker sort of shadow to them. And I'm using this bluish purplish color in this piece to add some shading onto the store owner. And I think it turned out pretty well. It's still sort of a weird, awkward thing for me to get used to, is just using colors for shadows. So, you know, that's a fun thing. I also want to make sure I didn't make any of the skin tones look too washed out or too gray toned, because these are alive human beings, not zombies. And I want to make sure that it looks like they have blood flowing through their veins. So that's what I did. Also, yes, this bag full of jelly beans is kind of just a bag full of colorful pastel-y colored blobs, kind of, but I think it's cute. Some of them look a bit more jelly bean-ish than others, and I think it works. I'm happy with it. And on to a little bit more about these sketch markers. I've only recently got them because Hobby Lobby, if you weren't aware, a couple months ago, had this insane clearance sale on their Copic markers. Honestly, I had no idea. Didn't find out it was actually a thing until I saw a couple YouTube videos on it. And I was just in Hobby Lobby one day. Oddly enough, not for myself in art supplies, for my husband, who has wanted to get into oil painting. He's been inspired by the great Bob Ross recently. So we were there for him to get some oil colors and brushes, just supplies for him to get used to it. And I was there just picking up a couple craft paint things because I had an event that I was working on, so I needed some paint for it. And since I'm in Hobby Lobby, my husband is preoccupied, might as well check out the clearance section, or at least that's what I thought to myself, thinking I would just go through, quickly browse it, maybe there'd be something interesting. You know, one time I did happen to find some Copic nib refills there for 89 cents, so I thought maybe it would happen again. But oh no, something even better happened. I found these sketch markers, and I don't mean there were a few. I mean there were like 400 or 500 Copic sketch markers just in a basket. All of them were marked down for not $8.99, not $7.99. No. They were marked down for $1.99, $1.99 a piece. I'm not kidding. So, as one, crazy weirdo artist would do, such as myself, I decided to pick out every single color I did not own. And that was not hard because I only own one Copic sketch marker. It is in B66. I don't quite remember the name off the top of my head, but I remember it specifically because I got it when it was on sale at Hobby Lobby for like $4, and I thought that was amazing. So I got it. But then, now that I know that these occasionally go on clearance for $1.99, I don't think I'll ever be buying a marker for more than that ever again from Copic, because why? Why would I? The refills I would spend more on, but that makes sense because there's so many different ones, and it refills a marker so many times. So yeah, I got probably a good 100 sketch markers that day, which, yes, I know that translates to over $200. I am well aware of that. And so is my wallet, my bank account, and my husband. But, and yes, I did talk to my husband about this. We talked about our budget. He says he thought it was a good investment, and he agreed. We discussed it, I swear. Not like I have to explain myself to you guys, but I'm gonna. So yeah, got these bunch of Copic sketch markers for very cheap, and of all of the ones I got, only a single one was dried out. The rest of them are fantastic. The one you can see me using here, actually, to make this wood sort of counter, is like a wood shaded sort of counter. That one was drying out, but it was not dried out. It still had ink in it. But honestly, other than those two, the rest of them are so nice. So yeah, if you are by a Hobby Lobby and they happen to do a sale ever on any Copic thing ever, just get it. Just do it. If you're like, should I? Just do it. I cleared out half of the basket that I found. I even found an empty shelf to organize all of the colors to make sure I didn't get doubles. And yeah, I goofed up and got doubles of a single color that I already actually had in a Copic Chow. But it's fine because it's a color that I use all of the time. So I'm not sad about it. Alright, let's stop talking about these markers. I swear, I only bring this up because I was very excited, not trying to brag. Mostly I'm letting you know in case you were by Hobby Lobby or any arts and crafts store and they happen to have a sale on these. Do it, get them, do it. Just thank me later. Even if you just want a nice marker to write down notes, Copics are amazing. If you can get them for $2, might as well. I mean, if it's in your budget. Don't go hungry for markers. It's not worth it. Make sure you eat. Alright, back to this prompt. The other objects I have been using within this prompt are my Pigma Micron liners in 0.5. I recently got these for my birthday, and so I've been testing them out. I really like them. All the different colors make lining so much more fun, and it was just nice to do something different with my line art that wasn't just all black. So I liked it. It was a lot of fun, and I tried to match them with colors that I thought I would use for the different clothing. They're not all exactly perfect, but it worked. I'm also just using my scissors, which I think they're like Fiskas or Friska scissors. I don't really know. I'll link them in the card and stuff, or not in the card, in the description, so you can check it out if you're curious. I also am using, not quite yet in this video, but coming up, I'm going to use my new cutting mat from the Blick Studio store, whatever you want to call it. And I'm also using my little Exacto knife thing that I'm pretty sure I got at Target. And yeah, this was supposed to make things easier. The cutting mat, fantastic. The Exacto knife, not so great, because at some point, I don't even know when, I was cutting out the middle of these little pieces to make sure they were all clean. I found some way to cut my finger. So I'm not gonna zoom in or show that. If you don't like blood, just don't look. Honestly, it's pretty hard to see on camera, but I cut everything off camera, and immediately, once I saw this cut on my finger, I turned my camera off and went and got a Band-Aid. I also washed out my skin stuff just in case, but yeah, my skin? Wow, I washed my hands just in case there was anything there, and yeah, so this prompt I got injured for. Do you see how much work I put in for you guys? I even injure myself sometimes. It just happens. But yeah, that's pretty much this prompt with 4 different things. I hope you enjoyed it and hoped my rambling. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. That's what I meant to say. Alright, I should probably go. Have an awesome day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. You guys mean so much to me. Your support is very much appreciated. Thanks for watching my videos, as always, guys. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, like this video if you liked it, leave me comments below if you have any, and most importantly, have a fantastic day. Do you want to see more shenanigans? Then make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Oh, you want to see more shenanigans like right now? Then check out these suggestions on your screen or head on over to my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Check back soon for some more shenanigans. Bye!